Hi guys, welcome back to D on the Couch. If you're new to my channel, you are very welcome. Please take a moment to subscribe and press the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos that I post. So today's video is about interracial relationships, the challenges that couples face. And with me today is Alice Mpofu Coles. Now Alice, you wear many hats. You are a mother, a wife, an author and politician. Can you elaborate a little bit more about yourself? Like, who is Alice and where does her story begin?
Oh, thank you, Dee. Thank you for inviting me to your nice couch here.
You're very
Feeling
welcome.
comfortable on
This
a
is where
rainy
the
day.
magic happens.
Yes. This is where the magic
Yes,
happens.
indeed.
So I originally come from Zimbabwe. I was born in a town, in a city called Bulawayo.
Okay.
And that's originally where I've been in Reading for the past 18 years. We've got two daughters, Michelle, Mimi she's called, and
Okay.
Tadiwa, Tadi she's called. So we have lived in Reading for a long time. And at the moment I'm just finishing off my PhD. My doctorate is about identity. And,
That's what I forgot. You're also a PhD student.
yes,
Right.
finishing my PhD on identity and transnational activities for young people coming to this country from Africa.
Okay.
So mainly Zimbabwe. That's the research that I'm doing, and I'm writing about it.
Okay. Can you elaborate a bit more in case people don't understand?
So identity and transnationalism is about the young people, more what they call the 1.5 generation, who were born in Africa, but or wherever they were born, but they come here when they are young, and young teenager age or young in primary school. They have a memory of where they were born, but they are still, they grew up here. So those are the 18, one now 18 and above. So I'm trying to figure out with them what's their identity. Do they feel they belong here? So issues that came out with my research is about race was the most issue, about belonging. They either don't belong where they come from, they don't belong here also. Some of them talk about accents and how they are also racial profiled. A lot of other things that came out with young people which are disturbing, about moms and dad working quite a lot and they grow up on their own. So this is the research mainly about identity. What's your identity? What culture do you do when you are here?
Right. Yeah. It must be difficult if you're born somewhere else and you're used to a certain way of life.
Yes.
And then you're brought to another country where you have to learn all over again and adapt. And like you said, with parents working all the time, you're virtually bringing yourself up. And we're not used to that in Africa. There's always somebody around.
Yes.
Yeah. We're never left on our own with both parents working here and there.
No, it doesn't happen. So with there, it comes in the sense of looking at it and thinking they're working actually. It's not the blame of the parents, but they're working for two homes. They're working from where they came from, and they're working for here. So, and also if you find most of the people, what we call the diasporas, they work in these jobs that are very demanding, where the salaries are very low. So they are trying to make homes in two places, and that leaves out the young people.
Right. Okay, thank you for that. And so like I said, this program is about interracial relationships.
Yes.
And you are in one.
Yes.
Where did you meet, first of all?
Okay, I met my husband 10 years ago. That is 2010. We just celebrated our 10 years this year. And then we celebrated our wedding anniversary on Saturday, 22nd.
Congratulations.
So 10 years ago, I was still recovering from cancer. I had breast cancer. And most of the time I used to spend at home reading books and all that. I love politics. And then one of my friends who lives up north was having dinner with my husband, Wayne, with some friends, and they were talking about politics. And then she said, okay, well, hang on, let me call this this friend of mine, Alice, and then we can debate about politics. So they
Okay.
put me on a speakerphone on a Sunday afternoon, and they started talking about politics, and I came in and narrated everything and how I passionately felt about certain things, about human rights and all that. And then afterwards, Wayne then said, wow, to my friend, I want to know this girl. Yeah. So that's how we met. So he used to live in Hull, and he used to drive 4 hours down, come and see me, have
We're here
dinner
in Reading.
in Reading,
Right.
and then drive back.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how we met, and we got along. We have a lot of commonality in that. I think sometimes when you look at race, people usually don't define that we are all humans, and sometimes we have a lot in common that we think we don't have.
Yeah,
So like the music we loved, the things that we love together, me loving cooking and he loves eating, so that complements each other. So that's how we met. And
okay, so you've got your friends to thank.
Yes, I have to. Yeah.
I was going to ask how you met, but you have already told us. And were your families accepting of your relationship when you initially got together?
Actually, if you look at it, my children are the center of everything, because it's me and my children. At that time when I met my husband, my children had lost their father when they were quite very young. My youngest daughter was about 1.5 years when he died. So we had gone through quite a very traumatic time, and it stayed on my own for a long time. After that, I was widowed at 33 years. Some people get married at 33 years. So, and lost entirely my whole family, 4 brothers, my mom and dad within a space of 13 years.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So it was only about introducing to my children, and my children are very supportive in things that mean a lot to me, but I respect them, and they were. But when I think about it, when I was growing up, usually white people are carried with high esteem. And I lived in Belgrade when I was young, where I was working, and my aunties used to call and say, "Wawana mrungwere," meaning, have you found a white man? So it carries that class and connotation of race.
What did you think? What is your opinion on such a comment?
It's a comment because I come from a country where we're colonized, and we're made to feel like that. And because you are talking about race, so I thought I should bring that into the play, because those are things that happen.
Okay.
But for me, I didn't see it in that sense. I think I saw it in the sense, even when I was telling people home that I'm getting married to a white person, the excitement is more. There's that overwhelming excitement, not to say, no, you can't do that, but that excitement of saying, Wawana Mrungu, again, you found a white person, and as if I'm lesser than him. Yeah.
Which is quite sad. It's a very sad train of thought.
Yes.
That somebody would not celebrate the fact that you found love, but the fact that you found love with a white person.
Yes. It's not even love first, but it's a white person, and love is the second thing. It's a white person first. Okay. So, yeah. So it's been like that generations and generations. They embrace that. Yeah. But the most important thing is love, whether black, white, green, or yellow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
So your children were very accepting. Your family were just excited that it was a white person. What about friends, colleagues?
Friends and colleagues were fine with that, because I've lived in Reading here 18 years, and some of my friends are local white British people. Okay. My godmother of my children is white British. My family from my husband's side, they are from a village, quite a small village in Lincolnshire, but they live in Boston. Wayne was born in a village called Baker, very small village, and grew up in Boston there around Lincolnshire. So things like my mother-in-law, there's a time in 2010 we went to a restaurant. It's different now in Boston, but then Boston, UK, because
Yeah,
there are two
yeah.
Bostons. So we're sitting in a restaurant and these children were walking around and looking at me, and that time I had long dreadlocks and all that. My mother-in-law stood up and went to tell the parents that they should respect the fact that they've got it's my daughter-in-law and my son. We're having a dinner. We need peace and quiet, and she's beautiful. If they want to stay in the restaurant, they can, but have respect or go out.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's an amazing thing that she did.
Yeah.
Because not many people would have done that. They probably would have seen it and maybe ignored it. And
Yes.
things. But the fact that she actually had the guts
Yes.
and the respect to stand out
Yes.
and speak to the parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find that really awesome.
Yeah.
Right. So that I was going to ask
Mm.
if his parents were accepting of you.
Yeah.
But judging by what you just said and the way she stood up for you at the restaurant, I would assume that yes. they
Yes, yes, it is
They
an
were
acceptance. Yeah.
were. Okay. What about? No, forget about the restaurant. What about in public, like in the streets when you're walking with your husband? Do people? Oh, at that time, did they stare at you? Were there any insults thrown your way? And if so, was it to both of you, or was it more directed towards yourself?
I think what happens with most racism in here is it's covert. You can't somebody cannot say either the N word or just like that, but you can see the things. Like most of the time when we walk around or we go into a restaurant, the first question you are asked, "Are you together?" Yeah. So
Even though you're standing,
you're
together,
standing
you're
next, so you
clearly-
walk in holding each other's hands.
Yes.
They will ask you, "Are you together?" So we are so used to we are stepping in, coming in, and we're saying, "There goes the question."
Yeah.
And immediately it happens.
You know what you should say?
Yes,
No,
yeah,
I just
yeah.
randomly
And you
hold them.
observe, and you observe. The next couple comes in, they're probably black together or white together. Nobody asks them that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So it's those things that you get used to it happening,
Yeah.
and most of the time we just ignore it and carry on with life, because that is life, and unless somebody actually approaches us and says certain things, which hasn't happened as such, because I think we're very assertive and confident about what we do, but you can tell a lot of other things that happen in general in public about the questions that you are asked and the way you are also in restaurants. Most of the time we always say, "What is it, bad luck?" We are not served properly.
Yeah.
You can tell that
Yeah.
you're not served
Yeah.
properly. My
You can
hus-
sense. You can
you,
sense.
you
it,
can
yeah.
sense. You come out of there and you think, "Oh my God, this is how you are treated." And
Yes.
then my husband always tones it down and says, "It's because I'm ginger," and tones it down. He
Yes.
doesn't want to put the light on me to think
Yes.
about all those things,
Yes.
and we have a laugh about
Yes.
it, and it's just one of those things that happen
Yeah.
most of the time.
So I'm sure he does understand how you feel,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
know, as a way of making you feel, comfortable wherever you are.
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
It's a way
makes-
of making me feel comfortable.
Okay, so in conclusion, it's been absolutely brilliant having a conversation with you. I didn't mention you look absolutely beautiful. I
Thank
love
you.
your hair.
Thank you.
I just love everything
Thank you.
about how you're dressed.
Yeah, thank you.
So what would your advice be to people in interracial relationships and who are experiencing challenges?
I think the most important thing is just be yourself. If you don't be yourself, I think it can be very difficult to have an interracial marriage or relationship. Even for young people, my advice to them is just be yourself. If somebody loves you for who you are, you don't have to adjust within the marriage after 5 years and someone say, "But when I was dating you," or that I didn't see that part of you and you're trying to be. So that's quite important. Just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself. Yeah.
And don't worry about what the public think.
Well, the
because
public, the public will always have an opinion.
They will. And
Even
they're
if you're
entitled to their
they're
opinion.
entitled to their opinion. They're entitled to their stereotypes. You can't stop that. You can't change it. But to challenge it in a very diplomatic way when it happens in the open space, to say all those kind of things. Even people with married to disabled people, they get all these kind of stereotypes. Or people who are LGBT, they get this kind of stereotype. If they're in love, they're in love.
Exactly.
It's their opinion, it's not theirs. You can only fight for what you think is right for you, and that's love.
Exactly, because they're not the ones living the life.
No,
it is you.
it is you. It
going
is
through it. Yes.
And you can feel a lot of pressure, feeling that you have to fit in stereotypes and identities of people. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So there you have it. Love is love. It is what you feel on the inside. If you think you have found the one, whether it's black, white, brown, yellow, I say go and love hard, because the world needs love. See you next time on D on the Couch.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Peace.